Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm back. Back. So, I just noticed one thing. There are actually some people watching, so I have to be respectful and actually say hi and bye. And today I'm making this video just a little intro about myself, where I come from, where I am, what I'm doing, what I like, simple stuff. So, hi, my name is Koki, and I say it that way because Americans say Koki, but I'm from South Africa, and I was born and raised, did the whole thing in South Africa, okay? I did not like it. I think I was probably 14 when I was like, I need to be somewhere else. This is not for me. I don't want a husband here. I don't want no kids here. So I changed that. And I'm glad I did. So grew up in South Africa and moved to the United States 2020 March, just before the pandemic. And that's how I knew I was just destined to be here. So long story short, I was an au pair for a whole year and met my husband November. We got married pretty soon, got a baby pretty soon, and now we have two kids. So my girl Alicia, my son Cairo, they fill my heart up so much. That's why I am a mom right now, stay-at-home mom. I I feel like there's just nothing that beats being a mother and just being home with your children. I know I'm privileged actually to even just get to stay home with the kids, right? But it's a lot of work. And my husband does all the working financially, and that's what we do. I I feel like I was born to be a mom, honestly. A lot of people don't get that, and that's okay. But I love being a mother. I will go on 2 hours of sleep just so my children are okay, And that's just part of it. We're going to get to do this for the rest of my life, the rest of their lives. And I couldn't be happier, actually. So, growing up, I always wanted to be in America. Believe it or not, but I think that's what everybody wishes, right? When you're in a country, you don't see how great your country is. You just want to go out. Because my husband right now he's always like, I want to be in America. I'm like, you do not understand how many people want to be where you are right now, at least. And that's just how it is. Like, we're in one place, we just want to go somewhere else. And that's what we need to do as people. And one of the things too that I like is not working, meaning I'm not tied down to one specific place and I'm not mentally forced to be where I'm not. The biggest things that I'm just trying to change in my life right now is my mindset, and just to remind myself that I can do whatever I want. And I want my children to do whatever they want. I don't want them to be boxed thinking, oh, you just get to go to school, go to college, get a 9 to 5 job, and then potentially retire at 60. That whole thing right there is just a scam. We're going to call it that. That is a scam. And as people, we are not meant to do that. We're not meant to sit in a box all day, potentially retire at 60. Is it 60? And then get to live your life. No, we're all meant to be here to shine. We all have the ability to go wherever we want, do whatever we want, and be whatever we want, because we're all so special. But we don't know that because we're all trained to think one specific way. Like, oh, I have to go to school, get a 9 to 5 job, and have kids, get a husband, get a wife. And that's just it. Retire at 60. That's my problem right there. Retiring at 60 is my problem. Why are we doing that? So I'm just making these videos mainly for my children to know that it's okay to not be normal or to think like a normal person. Like, I need them to know that it's okay to follow your passions. Okay, it's okay to take risks. It's okay to not be ordinary and just do whatever you want. But obviously be smart about it, because one thing about me, before I moved to America even, I was working a 9 to 5 and I was not happy. I worked there for a whole year, and within 3 months, I was already looking for something else, because I'm like, I'm not answering calls all day, speaking to the same people all day. I already know that number and I know what that person is going to want. I cannot do that. I need something more. And believe it or not, the opportunity for me to even come to America, I was an au pair, and I do love kids. That's just what it is. I've been loving kids since I was a child myself. So where I was renting, it's a funny, kind of fucked up story, but during the weekends, I don't know why, but them kids always came to my apartment and played around my area. So I'd give them little snacks. I don't know where their parents were. Okay, maybe they were working, I don't know, but it would be literally from, say, 9 a.m. to 5, where them kids was just hanging around. One thing I know about children is they love to eat. They have to eat. So I'm like, are y'all gonna go home to eat? So I felt bad. So I always gave them snacks, entertained them, until one day I was sitting at my job in the office. I'm like, maybe let me create a little pamphlet for them to take home to let their parents know that I'm speaking in rands right now. I will charge them 100 rand, or maybe I said 200 for the weekend, so I can watch them, knowing that they're safe, they're gonna be fed, instead of just wandering around aimlessly. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they could be around, but they would be in my care at that time. So I was like, all right, let me just go on the internet, type up a little pamphlet so I can give to the parents, so they can pay me to watch them. It was like, okay, extra money. Why the hell not? Because paying rent, paying a car, getting gas, all that was tedious, okay? Groceries. I was 19, 20 years old. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I knew I needed to get out of my parents' house. Not because they're like mean or cruel, or they were like, oh, you're 19, go get your own place. No, the sweetest parents in the world, in my opinion. But I just had that urge to go out there and do this life thing for myself. And that, I'm right there on Google typing up I don't know what. I came across this website and it was asking for my details. I was like, okay, it looks cute. Typed in my details. Tell me why towards the end it was actually for a program, an au pair program, to come to America. I was like, okay, it seemed pretty enough. It was like, oh, your profile is 50% done. And to obviously complete the whole thing, I had to make videos, go see a physician, talk to someone, get an interview. I just did that so quickly that I was approved. I remember going for an interview. I was approved on the spot. And then it was time for me to finish up my application. It was a whole thing, honestly, but I did it. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what I was meant to do. But my point is, if I had not lived by myself and potentially having those children come to my door every weekend, I would not have been here right now. Because it's like, if they didn't come, I wouldn't need to even think about creating a fucking letter to give them, to give to their parents so I can watch them. You know what I mean? I would not be here right now. And that just goes to show that whatever you say does happen. Whatever you speak comes into existence. I speak, listen, nothing but greatness to my children. My kids are going to be, they are leaders already, okay? They are wonderful. They're going to have whatever they need because I say so. And if I say so, they will say it and it will happen. This whole thing of manifesting is not a joke, okay? I'm not here to rant about manifestation and the ins and outs of it, but it worked for me and it will work for them, and it might also work for you if you believe hard enough. So that was my little way of coming to America, if I may say that. And also, the one of the things is I always said I don't want to be an adult in America, in South Africa. I don't want to have children in South Africa. I don't want to have a husband in South Africa. None of that. So already I was programmed and determined to get the hell out of there. Okay? And it happened. I don't even know where I got the money to even come here, child, but here we are. So fast forward, I came here with my 2 little suitcases, started a whole new life. No idea what I was doing. Also, because I was an au pair, children from different parts of the world are obviously different, right? For me, growing up in South Africa, every child was everyone else's child, if that makes sense. Like, children are outside, everybody gets to take care of them. In America, no, that's not how it is. Like, I felt like there was no sense of community. So I had to be it for the kids, probably like around the clock. It wasn't, oh, just go outside and I'll come make lunch for you and then you can come when you're hungry. For me, at least, it was not like that. Like, I had to be there constant, making food, playing with them, teaching them stuff, which was all great until you realize they don't have anyone else but you and their parents, of course. And that shifted a whole thing in my brain, okay? And when I became a parent myself, it was hard. Parenthood is hard, anywhere in the world. But I remember asking my mom, like, because for me, I had my grandmother, I had my aunt, I had my neighbors. Everybody was just there. It wasn't just my mom and dad. So for me, for my children, that's what it is. It's just me and my husband. Oh, and I tell you, it's hard, okay? So also me creating these videos, I know there are so many people going through what I'm going through right now. And if anything, we're all human and we need a community. We need people around us. We need people who understand where you're coming from. We need to be understood. We need to be there for each other. That's just part of being an animal. I'm not calling anyone an animal. I'm just saying we are animals. We all need each other. We all have to be there for each other. You cannot do life by yourself. You'll be depressed, sad, miserable. Nobody needs that, right? So again, me creating these videos, it was for me just to, it's an archive. That's what it is. I'm not going to be trying to be formal or try to be what I'm not. If I want to speak about something, I should just be able to take my phone out, record it, post it, case closed. If it reaches someone, great. If it doesn't, also great. But it's for me and my children to look back at 20 years down the line when they need help, when they need to understand the world around them, and knowing that it's okay to not be normal, like I said. And that's what I was struggling with for the past 2-3 years, maybe. I had to find myself again, not just because I was a mom, but also because I'm in a different country in general. So I didn't know myself. I didn't know what they eat. I didn't know anything. I didn't know the culture. I didn't know how to speak the language. I didn't know who to talk to. I was alone. It legit felt like I was alone, right? Because I wasn't understood by anyone. So had I known then what I know now, probably would have started making videos a while ago, and I would have found my people and I wouldn't feel so isolated. Because when I found my husband, yes, he's my husband and he understood me. We connected on so many levels, but it became a problem when I started clinging onto him for everything. Like, he had to be my everything. He had to be my spouse, he had to be my friend, he had to be my mentor, he had to teach me everything. And that's a lot for one person. So he used to tell me, you need friends. I'm like, I can't make friends. I can't go outside to my neighbor and just hang out. At least in South Africa, that's what we do. But here, I don't even know my neighbor's name. I don't, we, it's just like that. Everybody is so isolated. And maybe that's normal for Americans. It's not normal where I come from. So I had to really wrap my head around things like that, and the food, what I had to eat today, because it felt like everything was just so, it was not me. So I also lean towards fast food because, oh, McDonald's is everywhere. Oh, KFC is everywhere. That was what was familiar for me. Hence the weight gain. That's okay. We're working on it though. So, yeah, I just had to step out of my shell, do this life thing. I would definitely recommend it and also not recommend it because we all need people. We all are social beings, but at the same time, you need to be your own person. Don't just stay uncomfortable because that's what you're used to. If you have that urge to go somewhere, be someone else, do something else, you need to be able to do it. Okay? So that's my advice for the day. But yeah, I enjoy making videos, so why not make videos? I may look a little bit chubby. I may not have the perfect life, but this is still my life. So thank you for joining me. My name is Koki again. I like the way they pronounce it though. Sounds cute. Sounds like a type of food. But yeah, thank you for joining me and talk to you tomorrow, in a week, in a month. Who knows? Mwah.